In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a personal protection equipment of a face mask. First, you're going to cut a piece of fabric 14 inches by 8 inches. You're going to take that fabric and you're going to lay it right sides together, folded from the 14 inch, so the 8 inch is still here. And then you're going to sew that 8 inches all the way across, leaving about a little over 1/4 inch seam allowance. You can adjust that however you like. Sew straight up that seam, backspace, cut. Okay. So then what you'll have is a pocket. You're going to flip it right sides together. And I found the easiest thing to do at this point to get this a nice edge at the bottom. You may want to iron it. So you have that. So here's how I do my pleats. I have a small ruler. I place the ruler starting at 1.5 inches, and I'm going to take the fabric and fold it over to the 1/2 inch mark, and then I'm going to put a pin. Okay, now I'm going to place the ruler at the 1 inch mark right on the edge of that fold. Fold the next one over to the 1/2 inch mark, pin it. Okay, set the ruler again. The 1 inch mark will be right at that fold. Fold the next one over 1/2 inch. You're going to repeat this for the other side. Start out at 1.5 inches, fold over 1/2 inch, and pin. Put your ruler 1 inch along the fold, fold over 1/2 inch, pin. Put your ruler 1 inch at that fold, fold over 1/2 inch, and pin. At this point, you should have 3 pleats. I like to press it a little bit just to hold that shape. You're going to take it over to the sewing machine and sew those pleats down. I go all the way to the edge of the material, back, pull my pins as I get to them. Back stitch, cut. Hope you can see through my hand. Having a hard time with my camera angle in my workspace. So I'm going to stitch this other side. Backspace to the edge. I lift it up to allow that pleat to fall down. Sometimes they don't ride under there quite perfectly. Sometimes they do. Stitch all the way to the end, back stitch, and cut. So now you have stitched this. Should look like that. Going to figure out which side is your front. This will be the top. Or if you want it this side, this will be the top. So whatever your front is, trim off your strings. So when you finish, this is actually going to be this way. So you're going to start work on the back. You're going to pin a 1/4 inch elastic about 1/4 of an inch away from the edge. Loop it around, being sure not to twist your elastic. Pin that about 1/4 inch from the edge. Repeat the process on the other side. About 1/4 inch from the edge. I'm not measuring, I'm just eyeballing. Loop it around, being sure not to twist your elastic. Pin it in place. Then you're going to take it over to your sewing machine and baste that elastic in place. I'm going slow so I can pull my pin. There, back stitch, front stitch, and cut. Repeat that for all 4 edges of the elastic. Continue on to the last one. Now your piece should look like this. You'll trim off these strings. Flip it, trim off the strings off the other side. It just makes it for a nice, neat, tidy look if you get rid of all this. You don't have to fight with them later. Now I am using extra wide double fold bias tape. Take the bias tape. I'm going to use a little bit of a contrasting color so you can see. It's still going to be pink, but a little bit lighter. You're going to find the side that is shorter, and that's going to be the side that you face towards you. You're going to put this in here into the bias tape, leaving about a 1/2 inch or so on the edge. And fold it over. You're going to cut this edge about a 1/2 inch long or so that you'll be able to fold that in. What I do, so I fold it in and then I fold the top over. I take my pin, tuck in any areas that stick out too far, and pin that down. Now I'll do the other thing, the same for the other edge. Let me turn it around so maybe you can see a little better. Maybe fold it in, and then I fold this over the top, like so. Tuck in that little corner a little bit, and pin. I also like to put a pin in the middle to hold it in place. So this is what it should look like, and your bias tape goes all the way over the other side. Do the same for the other end. extra to fold in so you have a nice corner. Fold it in, fold it down, and pin it. Okay, fold it in, fold it down, and then pin it. And then I like to, as I said, pin the middle just to hold it in place. And then you should have two. Now we're going to take it over here to the sewing machine. Oh, sorry about that. And I'm going to sew it close to the edge. Take that first pin out. Now this part gets a little tricky if you don't change your foot. Sometimes it doesn't want to feed, but I make it work because I'm lazy and I don't want to change my foot. So, back stitched all the way to the end. If you have a problem where it's not feeding through, lift your pressure foot and just push forward a little bit, and then it should go. Take out that pin. Take out the last pin. I'm going to go all the way off the edge, backspace, or backstitch, cut. And that's what your first side will look like. Of course, you'll trim those strings off. Let's do the other side. Scoot this one forward. It didn't want to feed. You can also try and push it through a little bit with your finger, removing the pins as you go. And the last pin, I like to go off the edge so it has a nice edge cut. Now you should have two sides that look like that. Trim off the strings, flip it over, trim the other side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to take this edge and you're going to flip it to the front like that. So basically it's like this. You're just going to flip it to the front. And then you're going to pin that bias tape to the front. That does a couple of things. It gives you a nice decorative front edge. And it makes those ear loops of the elastic pop out to the sides. This one's going to get pinned. Show you again on this side. You see the ear loop is in the back. You're just going to pull that bias tape over and flip it, and that's going to make the elastic exposed to the side instead of in the back. And I like to try and pin the bias tape to the very bottom of the mask so it looks like a nice finished edge. I do the edges first. Make sure everything is lined up. And then I also pin the middle so that it stays nice and straight. And then take it over to the sewing machine. And I'm going to sew again close to the edge of the bias tape. So basically you will have two lines of thread. I start out back stitch and then forward. Moving my pins as I go. And cut. And that's what you have. My stitches are not very straight, but that's okay. It will work. It's a little harder when you get more and more rolls of different layers of fabric to keep it straight. Okay, stitch the other side. Back stitch and cut. I'm going to trim off your little strings you have. There it is. You have a personal protection device. Put those behind your ears and then over your face. And I will put it on and show you what it looks like. There it is. Hope you like my video. Give me a thumbs up.